Lock. Stupid backfired. Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be showing you guys how to tint a side window with some simple tools just like these. You guys like what you see today? Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned so we can get this side window done. Some of the tools that you guys will be using during your install will be these tools that we have here. You can find a lot of these tools on Amazon if you want to use the cheaper end, or just look up some of the websites where they sell some of the higher end tools and they will have them. We would mention it, but we're not sponsored by them yet. So here we go. First, you're going to use a rubber squeegee to be squeegeeing your whole glass, your tri-edge for your corners, a blade to cut your tint, a scuff pack to prep your window, a shank to put the tint onto the bottom of your gasket, a squared squeegee with a felt tip for you to shrink the outside of the window, and a towel just so you can wipe down any excess water or to wipe down the outside of the vehicle so you could clean up all the contaminant. So let's get to it. Alright, first things first, let's get this vehicle prepped. You know, all cars, they come in dirty. Most people don't bring them in washed before they bring them for tint. So we need to prep this vehicle. I always like to clean up the outside of the window as well as the inside. Just because when we're cutting out our tint and removing our liner, which you guys will see, we don't want any of the contamination to come onto our vehicle. So the less we have on the car, the less particles we'll have inside. Our prep is all done. Next, we're gonna be cutting our tint. Let's grab our razor blade here. Always make sure you have a nice sharp razor blade so you can make sure you have those nice crispy cuts all the way around. And before you start doing any of your cuts, always make sure that your window is cracked just a bit so you can get the shape from the top first. There we go. Alright, we did our top cut already. I always like using my blade at a little bit of an angle so that you're not pinching to the glass and just lets your blade glide nice on the top. So next we're going to be cutting our sides. After that we're going to cut the bottom. We got our top cut, we got a side cut. All we need now is to trim the two corners, as you guys can see here and here. What I do there, I just remove it off of the car and I replace it onto the glass and we trim right there. If you guys had a glass board like we have here, it would be a lot better for you guys to do it on a glass board. However, most new installers, you're not gonna have a glass board, so we're gonna show you guys exactly what you guys will deal with if you guys were at home, not being a professional and only having a car. So something like this, I usually try using a straight edge to try to guide you. Squeegee is something that you more than likely will have on hand, so it's a perfect thing for you to use. On these bottom edges, I like to have a nice round cut so it doesn't pinch when you keep rolling your window up and down. Next, you guys see here, our cut is all jumpy. What we're gonna do, we're gonna follow this top line here, and we can follow that all the way down so we have a nice straight edge. Next, we're gonna trim this off here, and we should have a template ready to go. Our template is all done. However, we still need to get the curvature of the glass. Most glass on cars does not come flat. Our tint here, however, it is flat. So what we have to do, we're gonna go ahead and place this on here, heat shrink it, and I'm gonna show you guys how it is, exactly how we do it. For us to shrink it, we're gonna be doing the N pattern. So flat, flat, down, everything in between that, you pull it straight down. Now here, if you had an aggressive window, this is very flat, so we don't deal with it as much. However, if you have something a little bit more aggressive, like say a 2002 Camaro, you would have some big nasty fingers here, and that is what we're trying to do. We're trying to get rid of those and shrink them down. Very easy to get rid of them. All you need is a heat gun, and you apply some heat, follow it all the way down, and get rid of it. Our shrinking's all done. As you guys can see, it is already flat from the bottom. We don't have any more of those fingers coming up. So now we can remove this, put our window down a little bit, and start prepping it. So, first things first, let's razor blade our window. Razor blade takes off any stuck contaminants, small particles that you can't remove with just your regular scuff pad or your squeegee. So let's go ahead and aggressively scuff all this down. I mean razor blade, not scuff. Alright, now we'll crack it again. After our razor blade, what I like to use is this scuff pad here. However, if you guys can see, it has a bunch of little fibers everywhere. To prevent that from getting onto our window tint, give it a little burn. Burn these edges just like this. It gets hard, and all those little fibers that are on the edges, they curl up and compress onto your pad. Next, you scuff all the window. After passing our scuff pad, next thing we're gonna do is squeegee this all the way off and follow it with our triangle here, swiping down on both edges. Next, we're gonna peel off our liner. We're gonna remove it about 50% of the way. We're not gonna remove it completely. Just like this. Grab our tape. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Come back, come back, come back. Gonna spray your hands so that you don't touch your tint while your hands are dry. Grab two corners as least as possible from your edges. Bring it around town. Tack one corner first, then your next corner. Line up your top. Come here. Let's go. Right. It's always better for you to have your door all the way open so it's not bouncing on you. All right, we'll line up our top. Next, we're gonna just squeegee the top so that we can close up our window. Grab our triangle, hit the edges, both sides. Give it a pull, make sure that the tint's not moving on you. Sometimes your solution might be a little bit too soapy, like in my case. And it's also cold out, so that does take a lot of effect. Keep the corners just like this so it's stop moving. Now that our tint is tacked, we give it a nice pull and it doesn't move on us. We're ready to close the window up all the way. To close it all the way, then we're gonna follow up with our shank so we can pull back the gasket from the bottom and get our tint tucked right inside. Since we pulled our window up, it's possible it could have picked up some contaminants from our gasket. So to flush that out, we'll lift this up and heavily spray to one side. So just in case anything got brought up from that gasket, you flush it all to one side. Let's go ahead and remove our liner all the way, holding this up so it doesn't touch our panel. Spray the bottom. Line up one corner first, line up two corners here. Now, what we'll do, we'll pull out both edges, lining up the whole bottom completely. Sliding my shank here into the bottom of the gasket, getting my tint tucked inside. Just like this. Once the tint is all under your gasket, all you're gonna do is give it a light mist and squeegee everything down. After you squeegee everything down, lastly, all we're gonna do is swipe our triangle here on the edges, on the bottom, And that's about it. We'll finish going around, inspect our glass, make sure everything looks good. And that's about it. It's all done. That's pretty much a very basic, easy way that you could learn how to tint windows at home. However, if you don't feel comfortable with just YouTube videos and you want some hands-on training, send us a message. We teach here how to tint, how to wrap. If you ever want to learn anything within those things, let us know. Drop by in and we could show you exactly what it is that we do here at the Tint Factory. Alright, if you guys liked what you guys saw in this video today, like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys liked it. However, I want to transition to what we have going on Sunday. Sunday, we're going to be meeting at the Alameda Naval Base, right across the water where you could see what we call the dinosaurs here in Oakland. However, it's the Port of Oakland. So if you want to come out and meet us so that you could potentially be sponsored, or you could win one of the other 9 prizes that we're going to be giving away, come by Sunday, 9:30 in the morning at the Alameda Naval Base. I hope to see you there, and hopefully you will be sponsored.